Hey, you ever heard about the blue sky problem? Basically, sometime like a year ago, people were critiquing the anime adaptation of My Hero Academia for always having a bright blue sky in the background, no matter what the tone and content of the scene was. I'm like, yeah, these scenes take place during the day, but in art and filmmaking, color is a useful tone indicator, and sometimes the blue fucking sucks for that. So why did this happen? The source material stylized the scene, but the anime traded that to be more visually consistent with itself, which makes sense, but to me is a little disappointing, cause it seems like a lot of anime adaptations are only distinctive through the mangaka's art style, and hardly ever through the filmmaking. So my question is, why are there so few auteur anime TV directors? And my thesis is that the anime industry just isn't conducive to an auteur lens, mostly. Let's break this down a little bit. For starters, what is an auteur? Simply put, an auteur is an artist with a unique and distinctive style to their work. And in this case, I'm going to be talking about auteurs in film specifically. Now, there's some contention over the actual definition of auteur filmmakers, but shut up. If they have a recognizable style, I'm going to count them. Now, for all my anime and manga readers out there, I want you to do a quick mental exercise for me. Can you tell me who wrote these manga? Okay, maybe you got some of those right. Now can you tell me who directed these episodes of these anime? I'll give you like 3 seconds. Okay, if you got more than one of those answers right, you're a fucking psychopath. The point I'm getting at here is that there aren't very many recognizable names working from the director's chair in anime. Movies are a different story, but for TV, you'll never see a big name attached to a multi-season show. So why is this? Well, for starters, and as a lot of you might know, the anime industry can be kind of brutal, and it is standard practice to give each episode of a seasonal show to a different director. And to be fair, most Western television follows that model as well. However, there are more examples of auteur directors working in Western TV than in anime. For example, Rian Johnson, director of these movies, did 2 of the most famous episodes of Breaking Bad, Ozymandias and Fly, and I would argue that these 2 episodes stand out from a filmmaking perspective. There are other examples like David Fincher with Mindhunter and Love, Death, Robots, Steven Spielberg on Columbo, Tarantino for CSI, or even Robert Rodriguez on The Mandalorian. It's also interesting when auteur filmmakers are given the rights to pre-existing IPs like Sam Raimi with Spider-Man or David Lynch with Dune. Even if these movies or shows aren't always well received, I would say they are at least always interesting, and I personally like it when someone with a unique vision handles these projects. Now, Japan has its fair share of famous film directors, both in live action and animation. All things considered, they got a pretty good lineup over there. But these dudes are not working on shows. Sadly, that's just because television is a tough medium to work with for film directors. In TV, the director of an episode has to make sure they fit the runtime and follow the script to a T while the showrunner calls all the shots and gets final say. That's why people say that film is a director's medium while TV is a writer's medium. And since anime is TV, we'll probably never get to see one of those visionary directors working on popular seasonal shows. And to me, that's a little disappointing, because I'm sure a lot of these popular franchises could have some really cool episodes if they were adapted by these guys. And it's too bad that will never happen. Ever. Wait, it kinda has happened? What the fuck? In 2005, Mamoru Hosoda, acclaimed director of Summer Wars, Mirai, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and these movies, was hired to direct a spin-off film for the famous, long-running series One Piece. See, back in the early 2000s, they were pumping out these One Piece movies annually, and they were fucking ass. But then Hosoda comes along, and he makes the craziest, most outside-of-the-box entry in the series that I don't even think Oda would make. Everything about it was different. The art style, the animation, the story, and the tone. And not only was it sick as fuck, but it also directly influenced some of the most iconic moments in the main series, like the score during that famous scene in Eni's lobby, or how the Saboti punch originally comes from this film. And to stay on the topic of One Piece, some of the best episodes of that show are handled by more visionary directors, like Megumi Ishitani with episode 1015, if you know, you know. This, I think, is an argument for allowing auteur filmmakers to be handed the reins to more popular anime adaptations, because every time they do it, it's cool, and the influences it has on the source material are palpable. Hayao Miyazaki's Castle of Cagliostro is arguably the best loop in the third movie. Masaaki Yuasa's Devilman Crybaby is the most famous adaptation of that story, and Mamoru Oshii's Lum Invaders still stands out compared to that IP's other movies. Giving big IPs to auteur filmmakers is always cool, and I think seasonal anime would be really cool in the hands of these cool movie people. So what is this all to say? I don't know. I think it would be funny if Miyazaki did a JJK episode. I think it's a bad idea, but it would be funny. Just go watch this movie, okay? Please give me an A. Goodbye.